We defined our radical functions as the inverses of our power functions, but we were just talking about the base power function, the base radical function. How would we write the inverse of a power function or radical function in general? Well, we use our usual process for finding inverses. And in the case where we're talking about an odd power function or an odd radical, everything is perfectly straightforward. So if we want to find the inverse of f of x equals 2 times x minus 3 to the third plus 6, we start with that basic swap x and y move, where we say 2 times y minus 3 to the third plus 6 equals x. Then we isolate this third power, so we'll subtract 6 on both sides. We'll divide both sides by 2. We'll distribute that division. So we'll have a half x minus 6 divided by 2 is 3. And now we've isolated that third power. We can now rewrite the third power in terms of the third root. Y minus 3 is the third root of a half x minus 3. And finally, to finish solving for y, in this case, we'll just add 3 to both sides. Y is half x minus 3 inside the third root, plus 3 outside. And so our f inverse of x is the third root of half x minus 3 plus 1. And of course, we can go in the other direction as well. The odd power function is the inverse of the odd root. So we can rewrite the inverse of an odd root function with an odd power function. Here we have g of x is a half third root 5x plus 1, all minus 1. So we start with our basic swap x and y move. We'll have a half third root 5y plus 1, all minus 1, equals x. We'll isolate the radical. So first we'll add 1 to both sides. Half third root 5y plus 1 is x plus 1. And then to get rid of this half, I'm going to think of this step as multiplying both sides by 2. So we'll have third root 5y plus 1 is 2 times x plus 1. Third root 5y plus 1 is 2x plus 2. Now we will actually do the inverse. Right, so if the third root of 5y plus 1 is x plus 2, it must be 5y plus 1 is 2x plus 2 to the third. And then we finish solving for y. So we'll subtract 1 on both sides. On the left, we're just left with 5y. On the right, we have 2x plus 2 all to the third minus 1. We'll divide both sides by 5. We've got y equals 2x plus 2 to the third minus 1 all over 5. Y equals 1/5 times 2x plus 2 to the third minus 1/5. And there's our inverse function. So going back to function notation, g inverse of x is 1/5 times 2x plus 2 to the third minus a fifth. Okay, so with odd power functions and odd roots, we're dealing with one-to-one functions. We can just write down the inverse.